What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. You know who it is, it's your boy Kensou. Today I want to talk about Street Fighter 6. Street Fighter 6's system is looking sweet. So what we're going to do and what we're going to get into is I'm going to highlight what the system mechanics are, right? And then we're going to do a little bit of theory crafting to kind of see exactly where these things are kind of going. So we're going to try to get there as quickly as possible. First, let's highlight the system mechanics. Let's theory craft. So let's cut right to the chase. Let's talk about the system mechanics in depth for Street Fighter 6. All right, first up we have Drive Impact. Drive Impact costs 1 drive stock, and it is a powerful strike that can absorb an opponent's incoming attack. Perform this on an opponent backed into the corner to induce a wall splat even if they block the attack. So essentially this is Street Fighter 4's focus attack, if you will, with added twist with the wall splat mechanic even if you block it. So that does seem to be pretty interesting that you get a wall splat. I'm sure it's going to lead to a full-fledged combo. So there's not really much to talk about there, but it's cool to see we have a Street Fighter 4 mechanic in Street Fighter 6. Next up we have Drive Parry. Drive Parry costs a half of a drive stock, right? Now, it automatically repels an opponent's attack and replenishes drive gauge when performed successfully. Perform a perfect parry by parrying just before an opponent's attack hits you. So, for all the old Street Fighter 3 third strike heads, this is for you. Parry is back. It is awesome to see that. However, the caveat is it does cost meter. It is not a free parry, but it is a great way for you to build back up your drive gauge. So, pretty interesting mechanic here. Pretty interesting. Moving forward, third mechanic here is Overdrive. Overdrive costs 2 drive stocks, and basically you press 2 of the same button type instead of 1 when performing a special move to turn it into an overdrive art. These are the same attacks as EX special moves in previous games. So there's not too much to say here. It's just EX moves, you know, and they put it towards another meter as opposed to it being a part of your super art gauge. They opted to make the super art gauge separate from the drive gauge, so I think that's really unique. So this looks very interesting to have here, especially what we get with the characters moving forward. So I look forward to seeing how the EX moves interact and how they work in Street Fighter 6. Next mechanic is Drive Rush. Drive Rush costs 1 drive stock and or 3 stocks. So what Drive Rush does is it performs a quick rush forward from a drive parry or a cancelable normal attack. Drive Rush from a parry costs 1 drive stock, while Drive Rush from a normal attack costs 3 drive stocks. So essentially what they're giving us is more options from parry, not just to parry an attack and just swing again. They give you the option to maybe cancel this with this dash. Maybe you dash cancel and it has maybe some kind of invincibility frames. It's not listed here, we're not really sure. But if it allows you to dash cancel and do something unique off of your parry, it opens up a lot more doors now as opposed to just parry and maybe just get a punish, a normal punish. Maybe on a quote unquote a move that has a lot of recovery, you probably parry it and probably dash in and maybe get a bigger punish. So it's kind of unique there, seeing how this works. In addition, using 3 stocks allows you to drive cancel and go nuts essentially. So for example, can target combos, close stand medium punch, stand heavy punch. You'd be able to drive cancel that and maybe sneak in some more damage, maybe get an extra juggle point, something like along those lines. So I think that's pretty unique moving forward with how the game is going to work. Drive Rush is looking like a very good addition, a really good welcomed addition to Street Fighter. So really awesome to see this here in Street Fighter 6. And now we have the last mechanic, which is Drive Reversal. Drive Reversal costs 2 drive stocks, and it performs a counter attack while blocking an opponent's attack. The damage is low, but it can help you out of a tight situation when you're being pressured. So essentially Drive Reversal is the alpha counter or the V reversal in Street Fighter 5. Not too much to say here, it's a pretty standard option, it's just your guard cancel, you know, so this is pretty good in case you wanted to not use the other options to get on your opponent's offense. You can just block and confirm your block and then boom, get them off of you at the cost of 2 stocks. So good to see that we still have alpha counters here, so that's pretty dope. It's pretty dope. Good to see. Good to see. Alright you guys, so that's going to do it for what the system mechanics are in the game. So now we want to get into this theory crafting section here, right? So what I've been thinking about with this game is there's one major clamor in the FGC, especially about Street Fighter V and a lot of the newer fighting games coming out, is player expression. We've also heard Maximilian say things along loose fighting games and whatnot. I feel like the system of Street Fighter 6 is offering players the ability to have that quote-unquote loose gameplay, that player expression, for players to really just kind of play more than just your character, right? So essentially, if you want to get technical, you're learning two characters, right? You're learning the system and you're learning your actual character, technically speaking, right? I do feel like the biggest important thing to take away from this game system currently is you have Drive Impact, Focus Attack for Street Fighter 4, Drive Parry, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike Parry, and you also have Drive Reversal, which is your alpha counter. So you have literally 3 defensive options on top of just blocking, of course, which would be 4. You have a lot of defensive options in the game, and there's a lot to choose from now. It's not just, well, in this game you're only allowed to parry, or in this game you're only allowed to alpha counter, or in this game you're only allowed to focus attack. They literally took the best, if you will, of each Street Fighter game in terms of its defensive mechanics and just threw it all in here. So you get Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter 3, and Street Fighter Alpha all in one game. And I think that's really unique, you know, on top of all the other options you have, right? So based on these system mechanics and like kind of how they want you to play, I do feel like that's kind of the wave, right? I do feel like they want more of an expressive style of play, because a lot of people, you know, they've always been talking about expressive gameplay. So when you're able to take your character to the next level, you know, with these system mechanics, it can turn any bad matchup potentially into a good matchup or a more even playing field. So I feel like that's the route that they're trying to push for this game. Like they really want players to play their character and really explore the game and like look at more situations and whatnot. And I think that honestly, this is the game that people really want a Street Fighter V to be. And I can't stress it enough. I'm looking at the system mechanics and I'm like, this is really good. Like this is a very good look for Street Fighter, you know? And having access to so many options, just, and that's not even like with characters, not even with kits, it's just the system. You know, Drive Rush opening up more doors for a parry, Drive Rush offering up more doors for you hitting your normals. Like if you whiff punish a character, you hit them, let's say with Ryu, stand fierce, or maybe stand roundhouse, Drive Rush cancel, you're able to dash in and maybe extend that into a combo. So it's turning typical scenarios that would be maybe like a good counter poke into bigger damage, you know, or maybe turning a block string situation into an even deeper block string situation at the cost of meter. So essentially Street Fighter 6 is looking to me to be more of a very meter management heavy kind of game, right? There is one thing I am kind of concerned about, and it is whether or not the game starts out right with you having all your drive meter. And I say that because the overdrive moves, or the EX moves if you will, barring how they are, maybe they might be really strong, who knows, there's no telling, we have no real information. But it could be, who knows how strong it could be just to have your EX moves available right there at the start. Maybe some characters might have a really good round start gambit, if you will, because, you know, this EX move can kind of force plus frames and help these characters kind of get in off rip. I don't know how this is going to work out. I'm not sure how many bars you're going to start out with, but that is a legit concern I do have, I will say. So we'll see as time goes on. But, you know, it is very interesting to see that, you know, everything is tied to meter. Like everything has a cost, you know, even the parry. You know, I'm really loving that it's a more meter management heavy kind of game. And then for me and personally, that's more of my kind of speed, because I like having a lot of options within the system on top of my characters, right? So I feel like when we tie in all the system mechanics together, it's like, you know, there's no way that a player can say you cannot express yourself in this game. There's no way you can say that you cannot handle a matchup when you have all the defensive options that can be utilized to help you get through things, you know? All in all, from a theory crafting standpoint, the future is bright. I do think that this might be the game that a lot of people really want to play from the Street Fighter series. So I won't lie to you guys, I'm actually looking forward to this game. I honestly can't wait to get my hands on it. I hope that there's some kind of playable demo at some point, but that's a whole nother talk for another video. But I think that's going to do it here for the theory craft. There's a little bit more I want to talk about, but in the interest of you guys' time, we can just cut it off here, right? So let me know how you guys feel about the system mechanics in the comments below. Talk to me. Let me know, is the system more in depth for you? Is there more that you're looking for? Or Anything else you might want out of Street Fighter 6, talk to me. Let me know how you feel about the system in the comments below. And with that, let me get up out of here, and I will catch you guys in the next video.